Hi, I'm Danny.
And I'm Si. Welcome to Business in the Brew, a podcast dedicated to all things business with the occasional cuppa.
We take a business story, theory, or something we just want to chat about and give it a dusting of our own special personality and sense of humour, combined with our experience and knowledge. We're both business graduates and have run our own businesses for many years. We can't wait for you to listen.
Hello, Danny.
Hiya.
Hello.
Hiya.
Now, I don't think this episode is going to make you retch.
Right, good.
It's all
always
about...
great when you started with that. Yeah.
But, trigger warning for you, it might. It's all about fish.
Now, we both know I'm not a massive fan of fish.
Yes.
Not in like a phobia. It's not like my fear of heights.
It's just you don't like the smell or the taste of them.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at them, I quite like them in an aquarium.
Yeah.
I don't want to be with them in the sea, though, because they freak me out when they move around my toes and stuff. And I certainly don't want to put my feet in one of those things where they eat all your dead flesh off. That's gross.
Oh, no, definitely not.
Very
no
unhygienic,
more, well, a lot more than unhygienic.
Is it?
As it turns out. And this podcast session isn't about that.
No, I know.
But
I feel like now we could do a whole other one.
You can get, I think, is it het from them?
Because they've swallowed other people's.
Yeah. And they're losing the little teeth and the water's full of
blood?
Possibly blood.
That's so gross.
Yeah. Yeah, because they don't know when to stop eating, you know.
Might as well put in a piranha cage. Not a cage. You don't put a piranha in a cage. That'd be ridiculous.
Cage round your
head.
It'd
be dead. Yeah. Oh, we had a conversation about putting your head in a cage yesterday. Anyway,
it was a
carry
box,
on.
wasn't it?
Yeah, anyway. Yeah.
Oh, God, it was, wasn't it? Anyway, right. So, today's subject, right, I'm talking about...
fish.
But this is UK fishing as an industry.
Okay.
You know, this is a business podcast. I'm looking at the business aspects of this,
yes.
As well as some of the impacts on the UK economy and people who buy fish.
But aside from that, it is something you are genuinely interested in and passionate about.
Yeah, and I'll explain a bit later where I did get involved
you're an old
in it.
Salty sea dog.
But I've been sea fishing since I was like a little wee nipper. I'm not even going to do that accent. Since I was a wee nipper.
Also, you come from the Midlands.
But it's not. This isn't all about bad news. It's just about information showing the scale of the, if you like, the market and the opportunity, some of the impacts, but also there is hope in this as well. So it's kind of almost like an informed consent basis for fish. You know,
informed consent for fish. Going to add that to the weird sound bites. Yeah.
Right, so if we could, we'd be heading off to North Wales probably, to the coastline to check out, the sea. Okay. Seagulls.
Yeah.
In the air. Yeah.
That was my seagull impression.
Cormorants diving in.
Can't do an impression of those.
No. So the UK's coastline and the lots of little towns around the UK coastline definitely been shaped and grown over centuries of fishing. Mm-hmm. Everything you extract from the sea, you can pretty much eat. There's communities that are built around it and a real connection with the sea. Yep. And actually, I find these people incredibly, they have a lot of perspective. They are
sea
very
people.
Down-to-earth, salty, down-to-earth people. They properly are. If you're connected to the sea, you're used
to... wouldn't you?
What?
You'd love to live on the coast, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would. And ultimately, I think I will.
Fair enough.
But seeing that horizon and that massive expanse of water just sows perspective into your mind. It's not changed. It's never going to change. It's always going to be there. And what I'm going to be talking about today is the pressures facing the UK fishing industry. Mm-hmm. And actually, it's the struggle for these small independent fishermen. And the impact of
fisher people.
Yes, and the impact of industrial-sized fleets coming in, the factory ships, and concerns about sustainability. Once upon a time, there was a belief that cod would never run out. It was the fish that would never run out. You could fish and fish and fish and fish, and it would always be there. Literally,
surely common sense would imply that's not possible.
But that's in the old days, like 300 years ago, when they discovered the cod shoals off I think it's called the North Banks off America.
And also, you couldn't fish in such volumes then. So yes, you probably could fish and fish and fish. Yeah.
Exactly.
Because the speed at which you could pull up fish.
But where you got a huge trawler going in, can literally just pass a net right over the shoal and hook up 500,000 fish in one go. That's not quite so sustainable. But anyway, I'm going to come into that. Yeah. But it isn't bleak. Challenges are serious, but there's innovation coming in. There's resilience as well, and I'll explain that in more detail. And
I've had an idea.
What?
Viagra for fish.
Why would fish need Viagra?
To increase their population.
How do you know that? Why would that help? There's probably enough in the sea already.
Well, you were just implying there weren't going to be enough in the sea because all the people that picked them up. All right, anyway. I'm going to save my great idea for later.
Why do you look crestfallen all of a sudden?
Because I thought it was a really great idea.
Viagra for fish. So we've got to catch them, bring them up in a net first, and they'll all be dead, and then pop a tablet in, and then let them all go.
Would it be stupid? I was just going to pepper some the sea with some. The fish food.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's I was going to call this What's at Skate, but I decided to call it What's at Stake.
Well, I'm glad you didn't do the first one because that wasn't. I got it. It wasn't funny though.
Okay, right. So for a majority of fishing communities, fishing's never just been an industry. It's a heritage and a lifeline. And these little boats, they're family businesses, and they're local employers, and there are local fish markets that contribute towards a way of life that's gone on for generations and generations. But these small-scale fishing communities feel pushed to the margins. They've got shrinking quotas being brought in by the UK government. They've got rising costs.
When you say quota, that means the number of fish they're allowed to...
Quotas are shrinking, basically, You are not allowed to catch any more than a certain quota. Not allowed to catch any more than a certain tonnage, if you like, competition from massive factory trawlers and policies that don't always reflect the realities of life at sea. And there's a backdrop of declining fish stocks and stressed marine ecosystems because some of the processes deployed to bring fish up. Yeah. So it's a complex one. And I remember being told that by my local MP when I wrote off to the Ministry of Agriculture years ago, saying, what's this about bycatch? Fish are being thrown back.
Right.
So I'm going to come into that as well, because that's actually quite a complex one.
At some point, we're going to need to revisit the whole you wrote to your local MP about fish, but we'll come back to that. Yeah,
it really got me.
It riled you.
It did. Yeah, it did. And I couldn't do anything about it.
It was all a bit fishy.
In landlocked Nottingham, with at least 2 to 2.5 hours drive, east or west, there was no way I could go and stand and shout at the sea.
No, fair enough.
So I literally had to write a letter.
I didn't really need to shout at the sea. There was the fishermen, not the fishermen, the fishing trawlers, the big ones.
Yeah, but shout at the sea. I might as well have been shouting into the wind. Yeah. So let's start with the quotas. Quotas are a hunk of the issue here. Yeah. So a fishing quota is essentially a limit on how much of a particular species that can be caught in a given year. Yeah. So you're given a limit. If you can catch 5 tons of mackerel in this year, that's all you can catch.
Yeah.
Yeah. The limits are based on scientific assessments of how many fish can be taken without harming the long-term health of the population. Sounds reasonable. Yeah. Scientific.
It makes sense. I understand why you do it. Yes.
Yeah. Like managing a bank account. Keep withdrawing more than you deposit.
You'd be broke.
Yeah, exactly. And quotas maintain a structure that prevents collapse.
Yes.
Yeah. And those have happened previously. So there have been fishing grounds that have totally collapsed and they've had to close them down to allow them to recover.
Okay, but we've not got any extinct fish.
Got fish that are considered endangered.
Okay.
Now, I didn't bring a list here, but I do know what some of them are.
Oh, go on, name one.
Well, not now, because I'm going to come into those that are sustainable, because not enough is eaten of them.
So you're trying to tell people which fish to eat?
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, well, well, I'm going to force it down their throats. Yeah.
Viagra-filled fish.
So these quotas are distributed, right?
Between all the fisher people.
Yeah. So in the UK, large industrial fleets and multinational companies hold a significant share.
So are you allowed to buy a quota?
Yeah.
So you could buy 3 quotas of mackerel for the year?
No. Technically, it's on the capacity of the boat. My understanding, it's on the capacity of the boat. I never actually thought to ask the question.
Because it's unfair. I mean, it is unfair. It's unfair system.
Yeah. Absolutely, it is. Yeah. So basically, it leaves small independent boats with much smaller allocations. Yeah, you couldn't have a 500,000 quota for a boat that's only ever going to catch 5 tons.
No, you couldn't. But by the same token, by sending out a boat that can catch 500,000 tons versus a boat that can 5,000, the cost per fish is a lot higher for the smaller boat than it is for the bigger boat. So you end up with them not being able to financially compete.
Yeah, and I'm going to cover that as well. So you are bringing in some logic there, yeah. So it's difficult to make a living for some of these small-scale fisher folk and what they're permitted to catch, even when they fish responsibly and selectively. Now, the selective side of things is quite difficult. You put a net in, you drag that net up.
Basically, you've not put a green net in just for mackerel and a blue net in just for cod.
Yeah. But and they did previously talk about how net size, or rather the net size.
Yes, the whole.
Yeah, and the net's been dragged along. What is it, 7 knots or something like that?
What's that in miles per hour?
I think it's the way around. It's about 10 miles an hour. It's not very fast.
Okay.
Yeah. Have I got it the other way around?
I mean, it's pretty fast if you're a fish minding its own business and you're stuck in a net. Yeah.
Yeah, and all your mates around you, and they're blocking up all the the holes in the net.
Yeah.
So it's quite difficult.
So more like a sieve system, basically. Bigger fish would get trapped, but little fish wouldn't.
Yeah, the idea being that smaller fish, actually the juvenile fish, can swim out
and procreate.
Carry on growing.
Oh, that too.
Yeah. Now, I'm just going to sidestep slightly because back in 2011, this is where I was kind of incensed from Nottingham, which is you know, I like doing a lot with food, and Hugh Fearnley-Whittingstall, who you don't hear very much of these days. He's occasionally a guest on programmes, but he's not quite the mouth he was. He's quite influential. And he created a program called Fish Fight back in 2011. Yeah, Hugh Fearnley-Whittingstall's Fish Fight.
That's quite the mouthful.
It was it is, but it was quite it's a double-barreled name that does it. And it was an incredible campaign because it got a whole load of people. A lot of people I know watched it, and
it got you incensed.
Yeah, it did. I'm pretty sure that's the year I actually wrote. No, in fact, I'd written to my MP before that.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah. You were a forerunner of Hugh Fearnley-Whittingstall's Fish Fight.
He's championing a cause here, actually, that's worthy. And at the time, EU rules meant that fishers routinely had to throw huge amounts of perfectly edible fish back into the sea. Can you believe that?
Because they went over quota.
Because they were either over quota or because they were catching the wrong species.
Yes.
Because you can't necessarily be sure what you're catching.
Well, no. You literally
net
can't see the net.
Yeah. They use fish finders, which is a kind of a sonar system that operates under below the sea radar, if you like.
But it's not foolproof. It's going to pick up roughly the size of
You're going to pick up shoals.
Yeah. And you're going to know there's a shoal of fish that are about 6 inches long. Yes. They're likely to be whatever 6 inches long.
But what happened was because of this is the EU making this rule that whatever you caught that was above your quota, or of the wrong species, you could not land, and therefore you had to throw it back land dead because they came up dead. Because when they're dragged up from the depths, compressed in a net. Yeah, no, not from the bends.
I know. I was kidding, obviously. Like many other things, I'm not kidding about. What does it do to the ecosystem of random dead fish chucked back in?
Well, it means more food for the other fish.
Okay, fair enough. Oh, they do cannibalise themselves.
Well, they'll just eat anything, largely. Yeah, but this waste was known as discarding. It's still known as discarding because it still continues. But Fish Fight brought it to the public air with very powerful onboard footage, where literally, and interviewing the fishermen as well, you had cod this big, that's getting on for 70 centimetres long.
Yeah.
They grow up to huge sizes. They'll grow up to kind of 3 or 4 feet. And they were just having to be thrown back because they were outside of their quota.
Out of curiosity,
and they couldn't help but catch that additional amount.
Do the large boat do a lot of the throwing back as well? Or are their quotas so large they don't have to?
The large boats are scooping up more fish, more of the target species, but what about all the other species that they're dragging up as well? Like dolphins and sharks and...
Oh, do they do that?
Yeah. I saw a report that it was a couple of years ago that I think it was 70,000 dolphins were killed in fishing off the coast of France in recent years. In 1 year.
Minding their own business.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel very virtuous because I don't eat any seafood.
Yeah. So this bycatch, if you like. So there's so they become...
So anything that's not the main purpose of the catch.
The target species to the quota that you're meant to catch, yeah. So the public reaction was actually overwhelming. The interviews with the fishermen themselves they were really kind of upset because they were having to throw back perfectly good fish. Yeah. I remember seeing that. And part
of the joy, if you went out with just a line, you don't know what you're going to get. That's the joy.
Yeah.
You could get
That's what I enjoy about it. Over 870,000 people signed the petition online. Supermarkets came under pressure at that time to expand to sustainable ranges. So less about cod, haddock, plaice, and more about coley, sardines.
The lesser known fish.
Yeah, we all know sardines.
Well, the lesser enjoyed fish, isn't it?
Yeah. A mackerel, But MPs and MEPs faced an unprecedented flood of letters and emails. I got mine in way early.
You did get yours in way early, yeah.
So, and I remember the response I got back from my MP, or actually got it directly from the MP, directly from MAF, Ministry of Agriculture, was Fisheries and Foods, it was called then, saying it's a complex issue that we're working on at the moment, and they're still working on it because it's that complex.
It's that complex, yeah.
Oh, I mean, fishing boats don't deliberately go out there to overcatch.
No.
And they try to catch a target species. But if the thing's dead because you bought it up, why not keep it and then have notes
wasteful. And
records taken that you are persistently breaking the rules, and then they can enforce it. But not, oh man, it just seems so draconian, really. It did, though, this campaign influenced some reforms to the Common Fisheries Policy in 2013, and it included a landing obligation, basically to try it. So instead you are then obliged to not throw the stuff back and actually keep it and then land it, and therefore there is some policing of it. It didn't solve everything, fish fight didn't, but it proved a critical point, a crucial understanding of what's happening at sea.
Yep.
So the people, public care, but it kind of needs to be drilled in again and again, because 2011 is 14 years ago. And
your letter did not change the entire fish world.
I was shouting into the wind, yes.
Shouting into the sea.
And when they care, change becomes possible. So the public cares, things happen.
Yeah.
Now, there's another part of the story that can get overlooked, which is what happens to fish caught in UK waters. Mm-hmm. So it's not just, all the fish that we catch in the UK waters comes into the UK and then we eat it all, like in some big pile of it, we all take a bit home.
Very glad I'm not forced to do that.
An awful lot of it doesn't stay here. So we're catching for other countries. UK boats land species like hake, Maygrim, monkfish. You probably haven't heard of. You've heard of monkfish.
I've heard of monkfish and hake. I'm unfamiliar with the Maygrim.
Yeah. I think that's an ugly little fish. Langoustines and crab.
It matters
They're
if it
very
tastes nice.
popular in Europe. I don't think I've had that Maygrim before.
What's the one with the eyeballs that you batter?
Them with the eyeballs that you batter.
White bait.
Oh, little
Gross.
white bait, yeah. them with the eyeballs.
Yes.
So they're very popular species in Spain, Portugal, France and Italy, but barely eaten in the UK. Well, monkfish is, though, having a bit of a
resurgence.
Not a resurgence, because it never was. It was always scrap fish back then. So that's an ugly looking fish.
Is it?
And British consumers tend to favour just a handful of species: cod, haddock, salmon, tuna, or warm water prawns. That's it. Yeah, I mean that's
creatures,
how bland like is for fish.
Fish choices.
Choices, yes, thank you. As a result, UK imports more fish than it exports.
So we can't catch enough of the fish we do eat.
Yeah.
But we catch a lot of fish we don't eat. Right.
Yeah. And despite having these really rich fishing grounds, so this mismatch affects prices, market stability, and the ability of small-scale fishermen to sell locally. Yeah, so you go and bring up a whole load of interesting fish and no one wants to buy them. A St. Peter's fish, for example. God, that's an amazing looking thing. It's got lots of spines on the top and it's got a black dot on the side. It's called St. Peter's fish because it's allegedly, or the little black dot on either side is where he picked it up with his forefinger and thumb.
The actual St. Peter.
And put it into the water or pulled it out to bless it or something. Yes.
There was some kind of fish holding.
So anyway, it's a weird looking fish, very fit, very thin. Sitting upright. Yeah. And but there's only a little tiny bit of meat on it. So you have to buy the whole fish and then you have to take these little fillets off. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that. But industrial factory trawlers can catch huge amounts of fish. Yeah. So there's this real pressure on the marine environment. Exactly.
He's a funny looking thing.
Some use heavy gear that damages the seabed, so they're basically
like a scrape.
Yeah, literally scraping at the bottom, scraping everything up: starfish, octopus, squid, the rest of it.
Detritus, boots.
Yeah, bodies. Yeah, destroying fragile habitats where fish breed, where their eggs are.
Yeah,
I just can't get my head around that. You're destroying the habitat where fish breed and where they lay their eggs and where the juveniles live.
And then expecting there to be enough fish.
Yeah. And when these habitats collapse, the whole ecosystem suffers. Bang. Even though the discard rules have changed, bycatch, the capture of non-target species, there remains a serious problem. That is a major problem. So these fishermen still face difficult choices at sea, and there are fishers, I think we should call them, because there are women that fish as well. And they face difficult choices at sea when their quotas don't match the species swimming beneath their boats. Frustrating.
Yeah.
Pressure on the environments that are already under strain as well. So we also have foreign vessels coming in, which is taking it into a whole new layer. Some operate legally under long-standing agreements. Others test the boundaries of enforcement. I'll just go in there.
Because there's no fence.
There is no fence.
So you could just
they
go,
know exactly where they are. Yeah, they know exactly where they are.
Thought I was
GPS
over there.
allows you to place exactly where you are. And of course, UK fish don't respect political borders either.
They do not.
Fishers and fish.
No passports for the fish.
Yeah, I'm going to chase this one over this boundary here, this undefined boundary. Yeah. So they move through shared waters, and that means management has to be collaborative, transparent, and robust. And it isn't always. Some take a more strict view on their fishers, and some less.
On their fishers.
Yeah, but there is hope, and we're going to be wrapping this up really. There are reasons to be hopeful. So if you do like fish, you do like eating fish stocks can recover. So we reduce trawling, seabeds regenerate, fish populations rebound, and surprisingly quickly. They grow quite quickly. And small, low-impact fishing is gaining recognition. So these fishers create more jobs per tonne landed.
Okay.
Yeah. And have much lower environmental
less
impact.
automated processes and less damage. Yeah.
And there's growing momentum around giving them a fairer share of quotas, which is great. Now, I believe, though, Greenpeace has become involved, and this may be changing, though. So this remains to be seen. We might have to do a footnote on this later. But technology is also improving sustainability. They've got more selective gear, onboard cameras, digital monitoring systems, and real-time mapping, all helping
to try and be more accurate about what you are picking up. Yeah.
And improving transparency as well. Consumer behaviour is changing, so more people want to know where the seafood comes from and are willing to choose local sustainable species. Yep. Great. So that's widening the plundering, if you like, of single species. And policy reform remains possible. So we've got post-Brexit, the management side of this is still evolving, but there's potential for fairer quota distribution, as mentioned already, stronger marine protection, and a system that supports coastal communities. Because when the fishing community dies, the local community dies.
Yep.
And so there's a bit of a crossroads at the moment. Fish stocks can be rebuilt. Support can be given to small coastal communities with the right legislation. We can protect the habits, can still enjoy the fish without basically vacuuming everything up. Yeah. And I was just going to give a quick list of fish to... I
will enjoy having a list of fish.
Yeah. But I think I'm just going to bring it up here. You can actually get it online. There is a fish list.
This is the list of sustainable fish.
Correct. Yeah.
So a bit like bamboo is sustainable in that it's quick growing.
Yes, exactly.
It's a list of fish that will bounce back.
Yeah.
Rebounce back, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. So hake.
Yep.
Pollock.
Yep.
Pollock's lovely. Coley, which is basically related to the cod family, just looks a bit different. Like flesh colour. Monkfish, megrim. That's Cornish sole. Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Flatfish. Flat.
Yeah. Mackerel, herring, sprats, brown crab and lobster. Of course, not everyone can afford
rather than the red
lobster. They're called brown crabs, and brown crabs they stay brown when they're cooked.
Oh.
Green crabs go red when they're cooked.
I did not know that.
Lobsters are blue and they go red when they're cooked.
I did not know that either. Why?
Just
pigmentation,
isn't it? Yeah. So, help your local fishermen out, if you have any left, and go to your local fishermen.
I'm going to help them by encouraging other people to eat fish, because I cannot eat fish.
I'm not expecting you to, and I wasn't hoping to change your mind on this session, I have to say.
And I apologise that I thought that giving fish Viagra was a good idea. In the moment, it seemed like a genius move.
Does it, in hindsight now, does it seem foolish?
It does. In hindsight, it's very similar to the time someone asked me if you build the inside walls or the outside walls of the house first.
Yeah.
In hindsight.
Yes, like encouraging population growth when you're basically taking away half the population.
No.
Anyway.
Next time I'll let you finish before I contribute my genius ideas.
Anyway.
Thank you for telling me about fish.
Thanks for listening to me and letting me talk to you about it.
Sold your fish Enjoy your pollock.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks for supporting us by downloading and listening to this episode.
And a massive thank you also to Dolly, Emily, Nat and Lewis and the BTD Studios for all your expertise in bringing our podcasting dream to reality.
We'd love it if you commented on this episode, as we'd really like to know what you think and what you might like us to cover in future episodes.
And we'll see you on the next one.